Hi, beauty. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming to my channel, Kinetic Karma. This is KC and Beauty, bringing day 4 of healing and manifestation to you. Okay, get down, get down. Thank you for joining me. Yesterday, I did not post a video. My intention was to post 10 days consecutively, but as far as I'm concerned, the Mercury retrograde is happening now in full effect. For the past 2 days, I have been having mad trouble with my technology. It's still not cleared up, but I found another way to get through to you guys to post, and so that's what I'm doing for now, and hopefully this will be able to get completed. So day 4, yay! We're doing the chakra deck, which is the basis for this reading, one of the basic decks, and the mystic mudra deck, which is another basic deck that I'm using, and everything in between is what Spirit tells me to do or use. So I'm pulling cards for today, Spirit. Oh, before I pull, actually, let me put that card back. Let me say a prayer. Dear Mother, Father, Spirit, please, we call on our guides to connect and to bring clarity and light to any situation or energy that we're dealing with that we need support in. We ask for light, guidance, compassion, understanding, intuition to be heightened so that we may transform ourselves and uplift ourselves and manifest in a really powerful and sustainable way what it is we want and need in our lives. We also ask for healings of the highest level on all levels. Amen. Okay, we got 4 cards that popped out. So we have a throat chakra, crown, and root. So, in the order that it came out, throat chakra, think before you speak is the critic's model. Speak before you think is creations. I'll say that again. Think before you speak is criticism's motto. Speak before you think is creations. The 5th chakra, the throat chakra, is associated with sound and has to do with creative self-expression, speech, and communication, the ability to speak honestly, to receive, process, and assimilate information, and to connect with and speak our inner truth, all relate to the 5th chakra, the center of transformation and change. The color is turquoise. The element is ether. The location is the throat, neck. Associated body parts are throat, neck, ears, jaw, mouth, teeth, gums, tongue, thyroid gland. The basic issues are communication, creativity, expression, humility, manifesting ideas. The basic issue, we said that. The gemstones and crystals are aquamarine, blue opal, carnelian. Flower essence are cosmos, larkspur, and larch. Essential oils are chamomile, orange, and rosemary, and the food is fruits, blueberries, blackberries. When I was reading this card, what came up for me most was that the throat chakra is a major big deal in terms of us manifesting what it is we want. We have to speak it into our lives. And at the same time, we have to recognize that all of our words, all of our speech has power. It creates a spell for good, or it creates a spell for bad. And when I say good and bad, not like it really exists, but like truth or not true. As I create from truth, my throat chakra speaks the truth. What comes from my throat is about the truth, is about what is about what it is that my authentic desires are as I'm speaking manifestation into my life. And it's on all levels, is on emotional, physical, and spiritual levels that we manifest. It's not just one. Everything exists in the in a level, in the spiritual level already, the actual framework for what it is we want to manifest. And when we speak it into existence, when we call it forth through the power of our words, through the power of casting actually a spell to bring forth a creation of what it is that we're looking for and what we're wanting, it comes down, it brings the structure down into the 3D. So that's partly how it creates. So I'm a little scattered today, I'm noticing, and my flow is not like connected like it normally is. So what I want to backstep and talk to you guys about is my meditation. Before I started this, my meditation, when I closed my eyes, it was like, and this is does not always happen, but it was like a veil was being pulled over me, like a darkness was coming over me, like when you go to sleep. A nice peaceful veil or cover was being pulled down, is what I got. And I sat and I was open, and I noticed, I heard some machinery in the background outside of my house that was just churning and churning and churning. And for, days upon days before this, I can remember when I go into my meditation hearing something mechanical in the background, like something moving towards me, is the feeling I get when I hear that sound. And then so it was the closing, and then it was something about meditation, that we needed to go inward, that we needed to actually be at peace, and just, it's like a boat floating on calm waters. There are a few waves that come by, but they're not really high and violent. They're pretty nice, and they kind of like rock you to sleep. We want to go into a meditation like that today to work with these energies. I'm not sure why, but that's the information I got. So I'm going to move on to the Thunderbolt Rock pose, which is to do with the crown chakra. It says kneel with the buttocks on the heels and the legs slightly apart. For comfort, place a folded blanket or bolster across your calf muscles or at the back of your knees, because this could really be hard on your legs, sitting in this position if you're not used to it. So between your butt and your legs, you could put a bolster. You could put one up under your knees for this position. Try to have your big toes touching, heels angled outward. Face forward with hands resting gently on the knees, index finger and thumbs lightly touching as they're resting on the knees. I'm sorry, your index finger, yeah. And yeah. Okay, and close your eyes and focus on the crown chakra. Allow breath to be long and slow and deep. If you wish to visualize energy moving up your spine, over your crown, or down the front of your body, remain in this pose for 1 to 3 minutes. I am at peace with myself. I am at peace with myself. I am at peace with myself. The benefits of the pose are improves the posture, opening the pathway along the Sushama, promotes a deep sense of peace and serenity, provides a sense of connection to the earth and the infinite. The Sushama, Sushmana, is the pathway that the chakras flow up and down. The crown chakra again. Major issue of unbalanced crown chakra are lack of purpose, loss of meaning, indifference, and depression. And attachment to materialism is central, and ethical and moral beliefs may be weak. We may feel disconnected from the flow of life and nature. Spirituality is non-existence, or we may have an unquestioning adherence to religious dogma. This is kind of how I am feeling, like disconnected. I told you that it wasn't flowing. My flow is not like it normally is. So that's to do with the crown chakra. Now, we can all have these, and we do, in fact, on some level or not. To one extent or another, these things exist, these signs in us all. So it's like being aware of where you are with the symptoms or with the signs lets you know how much work you need to do on your crown chakra in order to get it into alignment, or how much it needs to the attention so that it can come into alignment, okay? Signs of an unbalanced seventh chakra are emotional and mental issues, worry, depression, psychosis, and insanity. And a lot more of us are dealing with insanity and emotional issues and depression and mental issues than we like to admit. But it's not an issue that society looks upon in any light way. So it's understandable if people don't want to deal with their issues because they feel like they'll get consequences that aren't in their favor if they do deal with their mental issues or their psychosis. And sometimes when you're a psychotic, you don't know that you have an issue. You're just in it. So I don't know why it's sticking out to me, except to say that we could all be a little bit more sensitive and aware of what's going on for people around us. Not like anybody's going to come out and say, hey, I'm in the middle of a psychotic breakdown, or hey, I have emotional issues that need to be dealt with, or they're going to be severe consequences, or I'm cutting myself, or anything like that. Not that people are going to come out and say that, but that we could be open to looking for signs in people that are calling our attention to the fact that they may need some support, some help. And once they do, we need to realize that we're not professionals in the mental field. And that, sometimes things are beyond your pay grade, and you have to turn it over to people who can really support people in what it is that they're dealing with, whether it's, extreme addictions, narcissism. Not that the word is that if you're truly a narcissist, that, there's not really anything that's going to cure you. There's no cure. But for the people who are dealing with narcissists in their lives, it's an opportunity for you to recognize what you're dealing with and to get help before you become more mentally degraded. Because when you deal with people who are mentally degraded, or people who have severe mental issues, it creates mental issues for you. You may not think so, or you may not be aware of that, but over time, if you expose yourself to anything, it's going to have an impact. And mental issues is a big issue. It's a big deal. So If you need help, seek help. If you know someone who needs help, try to support them in getting help, because there is help. And pray for them, support them, but don't allow yourself to be taken down a path that is not your path, not your thinking, not your reality, by someone who is convincing you because they're slick, or because they're gaslighting you, or because they're lying in your face, that the truth is one thing when it really is something else, and it is, and you allow them to convince you that it's not. That creates mental illness in you. Okay? So take care of yourself, guard yourself, put your boundaries up, and notice who and what needs attention in your life. Whoa, this is way different than the past few readings. Physical issues are cranial and cerebral illness, aka dealing with the brain illness, disease of the musculoskeletal system of the bones, skin problems, chronic exhaustion, hypersensitivity to light, sound, and environment. Common addictions are psychotropic and mind-altering drugs, material acquisitiveness, when you want to constantly acquire more and more and more material. When the crown chakra is balanced, it opens us to a profound awakening, like the lotus blooms when it opens. It connects us to our innate nature as well as to divine cosmic consciousness. A balanced seventh chakra brings fulfillment of one's true destiny, enhanced sense of the spiritual, access to subconscious and unconscious realms, a sense of bliss. Beneficial activities that promote and maintain a balanced crown chakra are silent meditation, chanting, conscious breathing. And I get silent meditation, like that veil coming over me when I close my eyes and going within silently. The last card that I have for today from this deck is Butterfly Pose. And this is the butterfly pose. You're going to sit with your spine comfortably extended, roll the shoulders down away from the ears. Legs are bent with the feet crossed at the ankles. In figure 1, you want to inhale and place your soles of the feet together, interlacing the fingers around the toes. Using your hands, move your heels towards your pelvis. Go as close to you as go as close as you comfortably can without forcing this stretch. So in the first pose, you want to move with your hands, push your legs toward your pelvic bone, but don't force it. Don't because there are ligaments and whatnot that may be stiff. You have to give it time. Do this exercise over time, and you'll get closer and closer to the pelvic bone. But don't try to force it, because you could cause injury. And then figure 2, you're going to breathe rhythmically and deeply as you gently flutter your knees up and down. Don't force the stretch, like a butterfly. And then you're going to continue for 1 to 3 minutes. And the mantra with this pose is, I am open to trusting myself. I am open to trusting myself. I am open to trusting myself. The benefits are stretch and improves flexibility of the groin muscles, increases suppleness in the tendons and muscles of the knees, and opens the hips, improves posture, increases circulation energy in the pelvis and lower abdomen. With practice, it will become easier to move your heels closer to your pelvis, which is what I said. Okay, so those are the cards for today. Spirit, what cards are we going to use now? I want to use the Shamanic Healing deck, because it has a a design with the nighttime, and that I feel is going to be in alignment with the meditation information that I got today. So we're going to put one of these cards on each one that I pulled from the chakra deck to see what further information Spirit has for us. Okay, so with the throat chakra, I have feminine energy. So what that's telling me is that the way in which we express ourselves, the way in which we create through and manifest through our voice, through our throat chakra, should be one that is more yin than yang, for lack of a better picture, more subtle than overt, more introverted than externalized. In terms of the words and how we choose to use our words, they should be of a feminine nature as we're manifesting. And as we deal with the crown chakra, the card I pulled is retreat. And I'm going to read that one because I feel that in the book there's something there. A lot of times when I read out of the book, I start to channel information. So let me take a look at retreat. This is a good time to retreat into your safe place, a quiet time to gather your resources for what's to come. Oh, yeah. Work on making your body, mind, and soul as strong and unencumbered as possible. This is the card that urges you to get your ducks in a row for the changes that lie ahead. Changes sometimes come fast and furious, even when they are longed for. It can take us unprepared. By drawing this card, you are advised to prepare for some changes coming your way soon. Alternately, take the time to process the changes that you have recently gone through. So that goes right into alignment with the veil, with the quiet being pulled over to go in and do a meditation to ground yourself. And also, I got not just meditation, I got that when they talk about things getting ready to come fast and furious and us needing to be prepared and to have our ducks in a row, to do it from a grounded space, to clear our space from a grounded space, to put in place what it is we think we're going to need. We can't know what the future is bringing, but we can be prepared as best we can, and your efforts shall not be in vain, is what they're telling me. So do what you think and believe you need to do. Take action. Do it now. But before you do that, take time to go within and retreat and meditate and ask Spirit to show you what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and then go about doing it. The next card I have pulled from this deck is creativity, and that's also around the crown chakra. Excuse me. Creativity is talking about and they're telling me creativity is a feminine thing also. It's women who birth life into the earth, who bring forth from one dimension to another a life, okay, into this 3D world. And that is the highest form of creativity, to be able to, conceive and bring forth a life into this world. So there are a lot of things that are creative, but the creative side of the brain is the feminine side, is the intuitive side. The masculine side of the brain is the logical side, is the externalized side, the side that performs external things. So creativity is definitely dealing with our feminine energy. And in order to experience that creativity, we definitely need to take time to retreat in order to experience creativity, in order to understand exactly what it is that we're tapping into and what it is that we want to bring forth in terms of creation. Okay, creativity. This is a profoundly creative time period for you, whether it's in the traditional art, music, or writing, or it could be a new curiosity about exploring a way to funnel your creative urges. To be creative, you need to access the right brain, your emotional, sensing, feeling center. Do this by trying things you've never done before. Get physical, dance, doodle. When we acknowledge and act upon our impulse to create, we are aligning our will with our creator. And this, we can experience the flow of being on your highest path. Start creating and notice how time has no meaning anymore. Hours fly by before you realize it. It is not a struggle, it is a pure inspiration. This card can also signify a birth of a child or of a whole new way of being. Amen. And the last card we have is dealing with the root chakra. And that card I pulled was anger. And I'm going to read from the book about that. Anger, a very strong and primal emotion. So appropriate in your root chakra, because that is the most primal chakra we have, the root. A very strong and primal emotional anger sometimes catches us by surprise. At other times, it seethes just under the surface, simmering a long while until it boils over, scalding anyone who is close. Anger is based in fear. Fear of loss of control, fear of not being loved, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. When anger enters your life, be it yours or someone else's, go beneath the surface and try to address the real fear that has triggered it. Anger does not go away without addressing the underlying fear. Alternately, be aware of someone's anger directed towards you. So, I talked earlier about boundaries, about knowing in terms of when people have mental issues. It could be that whatever the mental issue is or the problem is that we were talking about earlier could be around anger and abuse, they're telling me, and that you need to be aware and have proper boundaries set up and a plan in place to deal with what it is that is occurring, and understand that it is deeper than just the anger, that it is stemming from a long time issue that has not been addressed and has been smoldering and is at the point of exploding. And that sometimes, people direct inappropriately always, their anger at other people, and you need to put yourself in a position where you don't bear the full brunt of that, where you get some help and call for assistance if that's the case. I hope everybody is safe and remains safe during this time, given this reading, that you do what you need to do in order to protect and honor your boundaries and your mental health, whether, you feel that you have an issue or it's someone else's. I'm going to go to the psychic chakra deck. I'm sorry, the psychic tarot. To get a couple of cards, just a couple, please, to further tie this reading together. So we have financial and material changes. And, one of the things that can get people really riled up is their money. Um, and then we have moving on. Um, One of the things that can get people really riled up, especially, in a marriage, it's proven what will cause a divorce in a heartbeat is money, and the disagreement around that. So financial and material changes could create some type of issue, emotional issue in a person to rise up, that you didn't expect, or that you are not prepared for. But you could be if you take the time to really analyze and look at the situation and set your boundaries and protections in place and your plans in place in advance. And it's not going to stop the issue from rising in the person or them directing anger at you, but it will help you deal with it better if you're anticipating it. And this is just one scenario, because when we're reading for a lot of people, this could show up in a lot of different ways. You put the situation, if it vibrates with you, where it should be. I'm not in your life, but you understand when something vibrates with you and when something doesn't. So if it doesn't, then this reading is not for you. And if it does, please put these cards and this information in the proper sequence that will allow you to have a better outcome than if you didn't, and take action in that way. Okay? And the last card we have is moving on. So what I'm hearing directly is you need to just remove yourself from the situation. I don't know if that happens before or after, but you definitely need to remove yourself and put yourself in a safe situation, in a situation where you feel physically safe. And if you're feeling like hurting someone else, you need to address that. You need to ask for help. So I'm pretty sure that we're about ready to wrap this reading up. I'm going to do a final pull from the Mystic Mudra deck to close this reading out, and I hope it was of some assistance to you today, and that we have two cards. The first card is, my love connects me to universal energy. Its abundance is mine to enjoy. My love connects me to universal energy. Its abundance is mine to enjoy. My love connects me to universal energy, and its love is mine to enjoy. And what is most prominent for me is the chest of gold. And that gold is not just pentacles. The gold is, your love, your abundance, your grace, your compassion, your ability to take the time to tap into your feminine side, to understand what it is you need there and what you need in your life to be put in place in order for you to be safe. And then and the pose is, it's a rather advanced pose. It's called the Bandha Lotus pose, where y'all wrapped up. I'm never done that, but that's the picture. And the last card that I have for closing this reading out is, I am a blessing to the world. I am a blessing to the world. I am a blessing to the world. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And the picture reminds me of someone in the womb. This part it just reminds me of the child in the womb and how children are a blessing to the world. And perhaps we need to look at more of the children and how they are in their nature and follow that. And we can too be blessings to the world, given the innocent nature that we take on like children. I'd like to thank everybody for coming today and listening. Please like, subscribe, and give me feedback if you like. If you'd like coaching or a reading specifically, information is available below. You guys have an awesome, safe, powerful day. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, God willing. Have a good one. Namaste.